Beneath the farmlands and quiet towns of Illinois, something lingers. From haunted roads to forgotten spirits, we're bringing 12 eerie legends back to life. Stories that still haunt the heart of the Midwest. Number 1. Resurrection Mary. Just outside of Chicago, along the winding stretch of Archer Avenue, drivers have reported a ghostly figure for nearly a century. She's known as Resurrection Mary, and those who've seen her describe a young woman in a white dress, with blonde hair and pale skin, walking alone near Resurrection Cemetery, often at night, often looking lost. The legend says Mary was once a young woman who died tragically in the 1930s after a dance at the nearby ballroom. She was struck by a car on her walk home, and ever since, she's been trying to finish that final journey. Over the years, many drivers have claimed they picked up a quiet girl on the roadside, only for her to vanish from the back seat when they neared the cemetery gates. One cab driver in the 1970s even insisted that she gave him an address on Damen Avenue. When he knocked on the door, an older woman told him it was impossible. Her daughter Mary had died years before. These encounters keep happening, and though no one can explain them, they all share eerie details that never change. Whether she's a ghost or just a story passed down through generations, Resurrection Mary has become one of the most famous spirits in the country, and even today, late-night drivers on Archer Avenue still glance toward the shoulder, just in case she's waiting for one more ride home. Number 2. The Cahokia Mounds Shadow Spirits. Long before Illinois was a state, it was home to one of the greatest ancient cities in North America, Cahokia. Near present-day Collinsville, the Cahokia Mounds were once the center of a civilization larger than London at the time. Thousands of people lived, traded, and worshipped there. But today, all that remains are the silent earthen mounds, and some say the spirits that still walk among them. Visitors to the site have reported seeing shadowy figures at dusk, flickering lights with no source, and the sound of distant drumming coming from the trees. Many believe these are the echoes of ancient rituals once performed in the sacred plazas. There's even a tale of a night watchman who heard chanting on a windless night and quit the very next morning. Historians agree the Cahokia people disappeared mysteriously around the 1300s. No one knows why. Some say war, others say disease or famine, but the energy of what once stood there hasn't faded. The land still feels alive, especially when the sun begins to set and the wind carries a whisper from long ago. The Cahokia Mounds are now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, preserved for their importance to history. But for those who've stood among the mounds at night, they aren't just relics. They're reminders that something sacred, and maybe even supernatural, still lingers beneath the soil of Illinois. Number 3. The Murphysboro Mud Monster. In the summer of 1973, the quiet town of Murphysboro, Illinois, was shaken by a creature no one could explain. Known today as the Murphysboro Mud Monster, this strange being was first spotted near the Big Muddy River by a young couple parked near the woods. They described it as 7 feet tall, covered in thick white hair, and absolutely reeked of rotten slime. After that night, more sightings came in. Families saw the creature peering through windows. Police found large, deep footprints and strange drag marks near the riverbank. One search even turned up a patch of flattened weeds and a lingering stench that sent trained dogs running in fear. For weeks, the town was on edge, doors locked, lights on, and newspapers buzzing with the story. Some believed it was a lost animal, or maybe someone in a costume, but others weren't so sure. The mud monster moved too fast, disappeared too cleanly, and had a presence that didn't feel human. Whatever it was, it vanished just as quickly as it appeared, leaving only rumors, reports, and a legend that never really went away. To this day, locals still talk about the mud monster when the river fog rolls in. And some say that on humid summer nights, if you walk too close to the Big Muddy, you might still smell something foul and hear something heavy moving just beyond the trees. Number 4. The Coal Hollow Road Ghosts. Outside of Peoria, there's a stretch of road with a reputation as chilling as the wind that cuts through it. Locals call it Coal Hollow Road, and it's known for its ghostly encounters, unexplained noises, and sudden waves of dread. For decades, people have claimed to see a woman in white wandering the road at night, sometimes walking, sometimes standing in the middle of the lane. Drivers report picking her up, thinking she's in trouble, only for her to vanish from the car before they even reach the end of the road. Others have seen phantom headlights appear behind them, tailgating their vehicle until they pull over, only to realize there's no car there at all. Some say the road is cursed, tied to a tragic accident that happened long ago. There are whispers of a woman who died waiting for help after her car broke down, and of a hidden cemetery nearby that was never properly marked. Visitors have returned with scratch marks, dead phone batteries, or the feeling that something unseen followed them home. Even now, thrill seekers drive the road after dark, hoping to catch a glimpse of the Coal Hollow spirits. Most leave with just goosebumps, but every once in a while, someone sees her, the quiet woman on the side of the road, waiting for a ride she never got. Number 5. The Tuttlebottoms Monster. Deep in the swamps near Harrisburg, Illinois, locals have long whispered about a strange and terrifying creature known as the Tuttlebottoms Monster. It's said to live in the thick woods and marshes near the Saline River and has been spotted since at least the 1960s. Described as a large, hairy beast with a long, trunk-like snout, it doesn't quite match any known animal, and that's what makes it so strange. The first major sightings came from teenagers parking near the area. They reported being chased by something huge, fast, and foul-smelling. One sheriff's deputy even confirmed seeing the creature and said it looked like a hairy beast on 2 legs. It became so talked about that locals started keeping rifles close whenever they went near the bottoms after dark. Some thought it might be a bear, others blamed an escaped exotic animal, but none of the theories stuck. There were no tracks, no reliable photos, and the creature always disappeared before anyone could catch it. Still, sightings continued over the years, enough to keep the legend alive and people on edge. Today, the Tuttlebottoms Monster remains one of Illinois' most mysterious creatures, and while no one has ever proven exactly what it is, those who've seen it agree on one thing: it's real, it's out there, and it doesn't want to be found. Number 6. The Cairo Witch Light. In the far southern tip of Illinois, near the ghost town of Cairo, a strange and glowing phenomenon has haunted the swamps and back roads for over a century. Locals call it the witch light, a floating, flickering orb that hovers just above the ground and vanishes when you try to get close. Some say it's blue, others say red, but everyone agrees it's not natural. Stories say the light first appeared after a woman accused of witchcraft was run out of town and vanished into the marsh. Soon after, travelers began reporting a strange light following them at night, bobbing through the trees and moving without sound. A few brave souls claimed to chase it, only to become hopelessly lost, even in places they knew well. The witch light is said to appear most often when the air is still and heavy, especially near old burial grounds and forgotten roads. Some believe it's a restless spirit, while others think it's the witch herself, watching the land she once cursed. Whatever it is, animals act nervous around it, and equipment often fails in its presence. To this day, drivers near Cairo still report glimpses of glowing orbs in the distance, just off the road. And if you're ever passing through after dark and you see a light floating in the trees, remember, some lights aren't meant to be followed. Number 7. The Devil's Bake Oven. Hidden deep in the Shawnee National Forest, the Devil's Bake Oven is a strange rock formation surrounded by cliffs, legends, and eerie silence. It looks like a giant stone oven carved out of the earth, but for generations, locals have said it's much more than just a natural landmark. They claim the area is cursed, and that it's been used for dark rituals going back centuries. Early settlers believed the formation was haunted by native spirits. Later, whispers grew of secret gatherings in the woods, strange symbols, animal bones, and the feeling that someone was watching. Hikers reported hearing chanting late at night or footsteps following them when no one was there. Even in daylight, the place feels heavy, like the forest is holding its breath. Some say the Devil's Bake Oven got its name from the unbearable heat that sometimes radiates from the stone, even when the weather is cool. Others believe it's a gateway, a place where energy collects and things slip through that don't belong in this world. Many locals avoid it altogether, especially after dark. Whether you believe the stories or not, one thing is certain. People who visit the Devil's Bake Oven don't forget it, and those who return often say it doesn't just feel haunted, it feels alive. Number 8. The Mano State Hospital Hauntings. Once one of the largest psychiatric hospitals in the country, Mano State Hospital opened in the 1930s and treated thousands of patients over the decades. But behind its grand buildings and long hallways, dark stories grew. Overcrowding, experimental treatments, and outbreaks of disease made it a place of suffering, and some believe that suffering never left. After the hospital closed in the 1980s, urban explorers and locals began sneaking into the abandoned wards. They came back with stories, doors slamming on their own, ghostly screams echoing down the halls, and cold spots that made the hair on their arms stand up. Some even claimed to see shadowy figures peeking from behind windows that should have been empty. One of the most chilling stories is about the old hydrotherapy room, where patients were once locked into ice baths or scalding water. People say the room still holds a chill, and sometimes the sound of water dripping when nothing is running. Others report sudden nausea, headaches, or the urge to run without knowing why. Though parts of the grounds have been redeveloped, the legend of Mano lives on. For many, it's not just an abandoned hospital. It's a place where the pain of the past still echoes through every brick and broken window. Number 9. The Dewey Monster. In the quiet cornfields of Dewey, Illinois, a strange legend began to take root in the 1960s. Farmers and townspeople spoke of a large, hairy creature stalking the outskirts of town, moving swiftly through fields and creek beds at night. They called it the Dewey Monster, and what made it even creepier was its silence. It never growled, never roared, just stared. One man reported that his dogs refused to go outside one evening, cowering as if something unseen had them terrified. Another farmer claimed to find injured livestock with no clear signs of struggle. The only thing left behind were strange tracks, too large for a man, but too narrow for a bear. The mystery grew quickly, and people began locking their doors at night. Local law enforcement investigated, but they never found the creature. Some blamed it on misidentified wildlife or local pranksters, but the sightings were too frequent and too consistent to dismiss completely. Over time, the monster disappeared as quietly as it had come, but those who lived through it still tell the tale with unease. Today, the Dewey Monster is rarely mentioned outside of small-town stories and whispered campfire chats. But in this part of Illinois, the idea that something unknown once moved through the fields still makes people glance over their shoulder when the sun goes down. Number 10. The Haunting of Bachelors Grove Cemetery. Tucked away in the woods near Midlothian, Bachelors Grove Cemetery has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the United States. Abandoned and overgrown, it looks like something out of a horror movie. But what really makes it infamous are the dozens of ghost sightings that have been reported for over a century. Visitors have seen a phantom farmhouse that appears and vanishes, ghostly lights floating among the headstones, and even a spectral woman sitting on a tombstone, captured in one of the most famous ghost photos ever taken. Some say she's waiting for a loved one who never returned. Others believe she's just one of many souls trapped between worlds. One of the eeriest parts of the cemetery is its stillness. No matter how windy the day, the air around the graves often feels heavy and still. People report sudden chills, camera malfunctions, and strange whispers with no clear source. The pond nearby is even said to hold its own secrets, including the ghost of a horse and cart that disappeared there long ago. Despite being closed to the public for years, ghost hunters and thrill seekers still sneak in, hoping to witness something for themselves. And many leave with a deep sense that whatever walks among the headstones of Bachelors Grove isn't finished haunting the living just yet. Number 11. The River Road Hitchhiker. Along the quiet stretch of River Road near Grafton, a mysterious figure has been seen for decades, known by locals as the River Road Hitchhiker. Usually appearing on foggy nights or during heavy rain, the figure looks like a man in worn-out clothes, standing at the side of the road with his thumb out. He never speaks, and his eyes are often hidden beneath the brim of a hat. Drivers who pick him up say he silently gets into the back seat and gives directions without a word. But as they reach the old ferry crossing or pass certain landmarks, the passenger vanishes completely, leaving behind nothing but a chill in the air. Some say he disappears at the same spot every time, near the place where a man is believed to have drowned in the river long ago. What makes this legend especially eerie is that the hitchhiker often looks completely real. More than a few people have reported stopping to help, only to find no one there. Others have seen him standing near mile markers that don't exist anymore, as if he's stuck in a time that no longer matches the world around him. To this day, travelers along River Road still keep an eye on their mirrors after dark, because if you see someone by the roadside who looks like he doesn't belong, he might be trying to finish a journey he never got to complete. Number 12. The Piaza Bird. Carved into the limestone bluffs near Alton, Illinois, is the image of a terrifying creature known as the Piaza Bird. With a body like a lion, wings like a dragon, horns on its head, and a man's face. The beast was feared by Native American tribes who once lived along the Mississippi River. According to legend, it hunted warriors, snatched people from cliffs, and devoured them whole. The Alini people told of a time when the Piaza Bird terrorized their villages, flying from the bluffs at night to attack travelers and hunters. It was said to live in the caves above the river, and only one man, a brave chief named Uatoga, dared to stop it. He volunteered to be bait while his warriors waited in hiding, and when the beast flew down, they struck with arrows and spears, finally bringing it down. French explorer Father Jacques Marquette recorded the legend in 1673 and sketched the image he saw on the cliffs. Though the original painting faded over time, it was repainted to keep the story alive. Even today, a modern version of the Piaza Bird still watches over the river, and the tale remains one of Illinois' oldest and most legendary myths. Some believe the creature was just a story to explain strange sounds or shadows along the cliffs, but others say the spirit of the Piaza still circles high above Alton, watching the river below and waiting to rise again when the bluffs fall silent. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.